Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Curse of Dota 2 Invitational. This is still the first round matchup, but this is a clash of the Americans between Dignitas and EG. I do believe this is game number one, and with me is Shred Kid once again. American Dota. It's been a
I-
while. Let's go.
I'm super excited because these are two of my three favorite North American teams
I
of the
mean,
three.
that's a wide selection of North American teams. So, man,
Basically. No, I root for all of them. All
yeah,
right, ready to go?
yeah, we're on pause in three, two, one. Unpause. Dignitas, of course, invited to TI3. They've been performing a little bit. I mean, it's always with Dignitas, they have a little bit of struggle, but they always like come through for 2 or 3 months, super consistent, and they had their good consistency point prior to the invite, so they managed to get in. EG has been looking a lot more sharp. Melk is on the coaching role. Bambo is in the game. We'll see if Bambo can influence Demon throws. Fear has been looking remarkable, ever taking up the support role, and Demon has been looking on top of his game. So we'll see if Dignitas can escape a bit of their slump. I don't know if they're in a slump right now, but they weren't looking too impressive in the G1. So we'll see. I mean, I'm definitely a Dignitas fan, but I'm also an EG fan. Like, I'm an American
Yeah,
fan. Fuck yeah, America.
yeah, just go North American Dota. But I do like Bambo's addition to the team. I like Malk. I like him as a guy. He's a nice guy. He's really helped grow Dota. But I think Bambo just fits a lot better because one, it lets Fear move to support, and I really do think Fear is just the best North American player. Period. No questions asked. So on support, he's capable of calling the shots and really directing the flow of the game that you can't really do in a carry position, or at least I don't think you can do that well. Maybe Fear's that good, but so with Fear calling the shots and Bambo move to offlane, I don't know what it is with Bambo and Demon with their just kind of dicking around, juking around, making big plays. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, they play loose and they play. Sometimes it backfires.
yeah, but it's got synergy. So if they're both doing it as opposed to one person just YOLOing it,
It's
maybe
like
two
two
people YOLOing
negatives
it is
bounce out
better.
positive. So
Something like that. Two rights make a left. I don't think it really works that way, but anyway,
yeah,
I really think that EG's energized and ready to go from this. And from what I've been seeing Bambo playing recently in some IXDL games, he's been owning. Uh, just saying. I haven't seen that many
yeah.
games of him on
EG
EG, but Bambo himself has been playing very well.
EG made it very very far in the G1. They beat Dignitas. They beat Team Liquid in the opening. I think they got like fourth place overall in the G1 qualifiers, or third place maybe. Or no, fourth place overall. Fnatic got third in the G1 qualifiers, which is definitely very impressive. Beatas had some personal issues, so it was Melk and Bambo. So Beatas stepping in for Melk in the support capacity. Fear definitely been playing on top of his game. Meanwhile, Dignitas looking a little bit shaky, like again I previously mentioned, but still they are one of my favorite teams. They always play interesting style of Dota. They like to pick greedy, and more often than not, they make it happen in the mid game where it seems a little bit unlikely, and then they find a way with their strong teamwork to secure the game after that. They're going to open up the Lifesteal. Lifesteal has been considered one of the most powerful heroes in this version, definitely, if not top two, top three with Bat and Wisp.
Um, you know my thoughts on Wisp. I've said it a million
Yeah,
times, but Lifestealer is so good because of his flexibility. You can hard farm him safe lane, treads armlet. Uh, it's not preferred. You can aggressive tri lane, do the phase drum, or you can even just stick him in the tri lane or off lane by himself, give him supports with him for like one level, and then just leave. So really, Lifestealer is probably the most flexible carry pick by far, which is what makes him so good. Aside from the fact that he's an amazing hero that's capable of like demolishing anybody with like 3K items, but yeah, this is honestly my personal favorite opening for this patch, a Lifestealer Lone Druid opening. You can do an aggressive tri lane with Lifestealer, have Lone Druid doing the safe lane, but if I know Dignitas, they'll probably put Lone Druid off lane and farm the Lifestealer. Maybe I'm completely wrong, I don't know, but
I think you're probably going to be right in this case. AOI does play the Lone Druid in most scenarios, if I'm not mistaken. And the Leicester Lone Druid combination, IHG pretty much showed how powerful it is, and a lot of teams have been jumping on the bandwagon. EG can respond with Magnus as well, keep it light. Dignitas can respond with the Rubik, so the potential to steal RP is always going to be in the back of EG's mind. I imagine Demon is going to play the Magnus. Demon sometimes makes interesting choices with Magnus, but overall, like, you can't
he's the
complain too
best Magnus
much.
player in North America. I don't feel
I mean, once or
unjustified
twice
in
he has
saying
some
that.
momentary lapses of judgment, and unfortunately they happen later in the game, so it does sometimes cost them. But, I mean, consistently, he's been playing very well with Magnus for the most part.
I got a huge grin on my face right now when I'm telling you this or asking you this. Did you see Fear's tweet?
Yeah, no more EG throw, and then it showed Demon uh, doing some
Fear says that
interesting.
every time somebody throws the game, he's gonna make a video of it, of them throwing the game, put wacky music next to it, upload it to YouTube, and make a tweet for it. And his first one was entitled Magnetard, I think, and it had Demon just running in and dying and then buying back. It was great. I laughed so hard.
I don't know how much that'll work with the Demon because I think he likes having fun.
Yeah, he'll just laugh it off. But I
Yeah,
think Fear is he's doing it as a joke, but I think it's him seriously saying, "Hey guys, I want to be, an A tier team. Let's make this happen."
yeah, EG definitely
Which
has
I like.
potential, and EG responding appropriately for the most part. They're gonna pick up Bane, so they have the chance to enfeeble the Bear. They have the chance to enfeeble the Lifesteal. They have Fiend's Grip, which can always be stolen by Rubik, but Bane is usually a very solid choice against these heroes. So far this opening is pretty much as standard can get.
Yeah, this is like the most unexciting draft that I've ever seen in my life. It's textbook for this patch. Like the bans and the picks based off who would first pick and
Well,
second
maybe
pick.
not Darkseer first ban, but since it's Dignitas and Universe Darkseer, you sort of
Yeah,
have
you
to.
don't want to give Universe Darks here. But yeah, you're right. Aside from that, it's pretty textbook. And the Furion ban makes sense. You don't want to deal with that split push. Storm ban also makes sense. You don't want him zipping on your keeper in the back or the bane in the back. So aside from that, pretty good.
Yeah, try to keep the excitement out of your voice, SK. I mean, goddamn, control yourself. You don't
Oh
want to
no,
go
I
too
was
crazy.
trying to control his sneeze because I had to sneeze and I wanted to get to the end of my point before I sneezed.
That's
I had to mute
understandable.
my mic.
As Dignitas going about the Lifesteal, or the Phantom Lancer, makes a lot of sense. I mean, there are two carries, not too much AoE. Phantom Lancer, of course, a huge issue in a lot of situations. Maybe not as broken as people like to make him out. Definitely very annoying in pubs, and competitive scene he's not seen as much success. E.g. bang on mid-solo heroes to defend themselves against the king, because Magnus, although he is, for the most part, one of the best melee mid-lane heroes with Brewmaster, he
He's
does have
tough.
some problems against certain heroes, so protecting themselves against Storm with the Infest Bomb in the mid-game, protecting themselves against a Puck, always a
And it's
solid
going to be
option.
a quap is the next ban. I'm like 95% sure.
Yeah, dude, Slark mid lane ban. You see Snaking Scrim with Slark? I haven't.
I am telling you, that hero is super, super legit and the answer to Magnus. I'm not going to get into it because I'll start my rant on why he's like the best hero in the game, but Slark destroys Magnus mid. It's not even fair. I don't think they're going to ban him, but I'm telling you, that hero's going to be picked up. Anyway, off my obsession with everybody's favorite little fish. Dignitas is thinking really hard about their last ban, and let me think. What do they need to get rid of? Because I haven't really thought about this draft that much.
I mean, EG still has to pick up a hard carry and an off lane, unless
gonna
they
be
aggressive
Gyro.
trialing, which I don't think they will
Oh,
aggressive
yep,
trialing.
Gyrocopter. There we go.
So Gyrocopter is going to be the ban. So not only does it remove the potential to go aggressive against the launcher or against the opposing team trialing, which isn't always the best idea against a lifestealer, it does remove the annoyance factor of the Gyrocopter in the late stage of the game. Interesting that he made it so far. Usually a team like Dignitas likes to place it in very high regard, but we've
North
seen a little
American
bit.
teams love that hero, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit less focus on Gyrocopter these days. I mean, we do see like if he doesn't get, you can beat him, but I mean it does get hard if you leave him later and later. So
Well, the reason why they banned him this game is you don't have to be that scared of an aggressive tri-lane from the Nakes if you have a Bane, or you can do it yourself because you get rank 1 and Enfeeble, and the Nakes doesn't hurt. Literally, like level 1, you get Enfeeble. So I think it's okay that they can ban it because it actually would be scary, and it synergizes so well with the Magnus. It's just terrifying. Like, RP and cooldown into all of his spells is like a team wipe at 15 minutes. And it keeps being it until like 30 minutes. And at that point, Gyro's got items. So, okay, Templar Assassin, I lied. It wasn't a Queen of Pain. So I'm expecting a Queen of Pain pickup for mid lane.
yeah, Snaking's TA is regarded as one of the best in the Western scene, if not the best in the Western scene. Well, definitely the best in America. So his TA is definitely feared for a very good
Arteezy.
reason.
What are you saying?
Well, I mean, you called Fear the best player in North America, and I mean, I was about to say I gotta ask Envy for some Kaifi replays because Arteezy has something to say about that.
Yeah,
mean-
he's mechanically very skilled. But yeah, we're going to see Jakiro pick up. That might be to deny it No, it's not a deny pick. What am I talking about? Huh. Wow, I don't even know why they did that.
I guess it gives them some more range, so they have something to. It gives them a
Maybe
bit more
stop the
push with the
Fiend's Grip.
liquid fire. Yeah, if they manage to snag Keeper Light, if they manage Magnus has some improper positioning, they have some sort of counter initiation because they have aggressive heroes in the far Lifesteal 100, but they need some range to help back them up. Otherwise, they'll get clumped up, they'll get RP'd, they'll get eliminated, and there's only so many of those you can take with this lineup. I mean, you can take a lot, but as the game goes later and later, it does fall out a bit. And the LEG, thinking about their hard care or the off lane, good choice usually for North American teams is the Weaver. It's favored very highly against Lifesteal, although it has been trending out a little bit more these days. But I think Weaver in this game to be quite okay. I mean, there is no problem of Rubik stealing Shikuchi, but it is going to be the Weaver in this game.
Yep, and you called it, and it's gonna be pretty legit. All they can do is pick him up. Lifestealer can't do anything to him. There's the pickup, and let's be real, you're not landing spells on a Weaver if you're Jakiro. It just doesn't happen. Unless there's like a setup ahead of time, you know. But right now, if he gets a Lincoln's, I don't know what they can do to stop him. And this should be a safe laned Weaver, I would guess. Yeah, I would want to give that Weaver a lot of farm. So give him a tri-lane and then just pick Clockwork or something.
Do you think this is an Orchid game for Nyx, aka the Lifestealer?
Depends on where Weaver's laned. If Weaver's given safe lane, the Orchid comes out not in time to deal with the Lincolns. But if Weaver's off lane and doesn't have like a great time, if you can get that Orchid up significantly before when it's going to come out, yeah. Depends on what Weaver's farm is. You can't just say you need to get it because you can get it and then, oops, he's got Lincolns.
One thing I do foresee it being a problem for the Lifestealer in this game is that EG, it's kind of hard to catch up with them. Cupid Light stays far back, Magnus has Skewer, and he stays far back once he gets a dagger. Weaver is just going to run rampant over them, and Dignitas, until they picked up the Brewmaster, did not really have the best mechanisms to chase. Lifestealer, of course, very, very powerful. Lone Druid, very, very powerful. He can go for the buildings, but Lifestealer, I mean, he can only chase for so long before he sort of gets kited into less and less effectiveness. But Brewmaster helps solve that some issues. You have that rock to throw in, you have some teamfight control. The Brewmaster ultimate is always a problem with the cooldown, and EG definitely can take a lot more frequent fights, but still, Brewmaster, I think, is the best mid-lane melee hero. So I think he should be able to handle the Magnus. And it's going to be snaking play in the Brewmaster. And meanwhile, we're going to see the Treant by EG. Tree, best hero in the game, according to gods. Or
This hero gets picked up so much recently in like high-level NA pubs and in houses and stuff. I think it's going to make a comeback. But I was going to say, one, Slark better than Panda's mid, just saying. And two, there was a point. And it was that
two.
it was that I think Pandas is like the best possible pick they could have done because you can stop Demon from RPing, you can stop Fear from gripping, you can blind jail. Like this hero, you know what? I didn't even think of it, but it's like the perfect pick. Like no questions asked. I don't see anything else being anywhere near on par with it. Plus, you don't really want someone who gets that much farm because you already got a Nakes and a Syllabear. So we're gonna see, yeah, LeBron James playing the Nakes. That's Universe. So.
Yeah, I mean, remember, actually, I don't know if you saw this, but Way Too Sexy, one of his nicknames was Sahil O'Neal. So.
Yeah, he plays as Shaquille O'Neal, and Universe plays as the dunking guy, LeBron James. Yeah.
Man, you're so white.
I
Shout out
really
to LeBron,
am.
who won his fourth straight MVP. I hate Miami, but LeBron definitely a very, very good player. But meanwhile, choosing the players and teams, as I'll go over them really quickly. Way Too Sexy, aka this longing drench is some weird, obscure name, as Way Too always does. I mean, this guy doesn't even have a Twitter. And I'd follow Way Too. Way Too's like the nicest guy I've ever met.
It's the dude, yeah.
Fogged is going to be playing the Rubik. It's going to be Bruce playing the Leicester. AUI is going to be playing the Lone Snaking is going to play the Brewmaster. Meanwhile, on the side of EG, we're going to have Fear playing the Bane. Jo is playing the Weaver. Demon's playing the Magnus. Bambo is playing the Tree. And Keeper is being handled by Beatas. I was going to ask, prior to the lanes being set up, would you aggressive challenge with the Tree since Bambo is playing it, and Bambo is usually the offlaner, but I guess they're just going to do offlane
No, God,
Tree
no.
with
You send that hero.
tangles.
You can support him, but most of the time you just want to have him off lane just because now your mid lane's going to win, and now they can't ever go on anybody in your safe lane. And with the Bane Elemental and that, Nyx is going to hit like a wet noodle or whatever people say. So he's not going to do anything. So.
I mean, how do you feel about this tree on tree violence? This guy has 9 tangos and a Quelling Blade. I don't know how I feel about this. This is This shatters my perception. I mean, he's supposed to protect these, but he's just like he's deforestation all over the map.
Maybe they think he's a counter to like a 1v1 counter to Scylla in lane, like he can hold his own against Scylla in lane. And maybe he can if he does a build
If he
like
has
this.
9 tangos in living armor and leech seed. Yeah,
He
nine
got fed
tangos.
200 golden regen, so you know what? I bet you he can, but it recently came to my attention that Razor beats Scylla 1-on-1 in lane. And maybe this was obvious to everyone except me, but I didn't think anybody really did it. Except
I
for
mean,
maybe
I think
Down.
Razor
But
beats like
yeah.
everybody 1v1 mid. I think Razor is a bit underrated, but he also sucks, so maybe not so much. But yeah, I was going to talk about as Snaking going to take a bit of harassment. We're going to see some Illusioners do some harassment as well. Snaking should have the advantage in this lane, I do believe, because usually in the matches I've seen, Brewmaster does have a solid edge in most scenarios. He even beats a lot of range heroes because of the Drunken Haze, as well as the Drunken Brawler in the Clap doing immense amounts of DPS. As Demon, the level 1 Shockwave isn't enough. But I was going to comment on the tree again. When we saw Empire and even Alliance run it, they usually run it in Treant, but offlane tree, I think you can see sort of why. Because once it passed the 30-minute mark, tree is kind of useless, and you want to get that peak of the tree ASAP.
Yeah, you can get a fast blink or mech up on him if you run him this way, and then he's really, really actually kind of scary. Plus, with the levels you're giving him in the safe lane, you can really just spam out that living armor. And yeah, Fear did the thing where he gets just literally level 1 enfeeble, and Nakes is just missing last hits.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a clone, but he has 5 tangos in the back. He knew he was playing against a triple range Trine, but I mean, the enfeeble is just going to be so annoying. He only has 35 base damage to work with, and I mean, Bane won't max the enfeeble by 7. Well, maybe he will if the lane phase stays very, very constant for the most part.
No, you'll leave it at rank 1. What you do is you build normal. You get the next point in Nightmare, then 2 points in Brain Sap, then 3 points in Brain Sap, right? And then you just max Enfeeble after. So at level 10, it's 4 in Enfeeble, 4 in Brain Sap, and 1 in Sleep. This is the new standard build for dealing with like Nakes and Gyros and stuff.
Makes a lot of sense. Also, you can enfeeble the bear, so it'll do a lot of DPS. As Demon gonna roam to the bottom rune. He will find himself an invisibility rune, but he doesn't even have the bottle on him just yet. He was bottle crowing continuously. So far this lane phase relatively stagnant as Waytube gonna put himself in a bit of an awkward scenario, but he's just gonna usher the keep away with an ice path, and it seems like EG not too keen on pursuing the issue. Bane only level 2, level 1 Braid Sap, very, very unintimidating, so Way2 just going to throw out an Ice Path to be very content with that. Me on the bottom lane, Tree with 91 base damage and the Quelling Blade. It'll be a sad day if he misses the last hit.
Sorry for trying to cut you off, but I just realized why they fed him so much regen. Obviously, it's to help him do good in lane, and I was like, well, they'll be punished for it themselves because they spent all their money on his regen. The supports don't even have to buy regen because he can heal himself.
Tree, best hero in the game.
Yeah, this hero's legit.
Dude, just a quick side note. When I was at RIT, of course, Gods is there, and Gods has some sort of vendetta against trees. So he was doing some analyst panel, so I logged into his Twitch account, and I just pretended to troll. I said, send all your tree fanfics, tree fan arts to me, B-Ballin, and also to Gods at btits.com. They wrote all these weird tree fanfics of the Gods. It's pretty funny. Gods, for some reason, has like a personal grudge against Treant. Maybe like a tree killed his dog one day.
Oh god, that would be the worst.
Meanwhile, Bambo just farming up on the bottom lane, and you can see Magnus vs Brewmaster. Brewmaster clearly has the edge. This is not even close. And Demon is a very, very competent mag, but snaking does have to be careful. There is always a skewer.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks. You push up, and then he just kind of hits you, and well, that's half my health gone. Because then, he gets a clap, and then he gets 3 hits off on you, and you can't respond with autos of your own because your attack speed's slowed, so...
I mean, Magnus, and when it comes down to late game, he's just like, suck it, bitch. I have a 100-second cooldown. You have 120.
Sneaky's gonna feed. Watch this.
Ooh, snaking. Gotta be a bit
Watch
careful.
this. There's a regen rune on Demon. He's gonna hit it, skewer, and go in.
Yep, Shockwave, Snaking gonna cancel the regen rune, but Skewer is gonna come in. Ooh, Snaking is gonna get picked off, but meanwhile, way too sexy, managed to get a kill. Rotated to the bottom lane, actually killed the Treant, and Treant, unfortunately, he'll have to sprout again another time. Only level 2 living armor, so he's still very easily killed, and, I mean, there's a reason why Tree is so rarely picked. Nature's Guise has got to be one of the worst spells in the game, and his ultimate is quite questionable. He is still very strong in the late game, but I mean, come on, Nature's
He's
Guise,
so
really.
good in the laning stage, though. Like,
And he's
he
so good
might
at
be the
pushing.
best
He's
laning
like,
stage hero. Fog's gonna get caught out of position. He's definitely dead, 100%.
and meanwhile, Universe gonna have to back the heck out of there. Illuminate, ooh, nice rage dodge, level 1 rage, nicely timed. As Universe really having a difficult time. The Enfeeble, like you mentioned, really just very, very annoying to deal with. As
Fogs isn't
EG,
going to go back top. I mean, they already rotated out the Jakiro because they realized top lane's just gonna. We lost top lane. Let's not even stick around and get killed. Nyx isn't going to get farmed, so they rotated bot, tried to secure more farm from Scylla, and yep, Fog isn't even going back top. He's trying to get a gank off mid, trying to help out sneaking after he fed.
but I mean, sacrificing Lifesteal when there's a Bay on the other side, do you think
It's not
it's the
even
right
bad.
decision?
No, it's absolutely fine. Sacrificing Lifesteal is no big deal. You just get phase drama, and it's whatever. Because your bear's going to have like a 14-minute armlet phase and most of his, not most of, but like maybe a Gloves of Haste. So he's going to have that. And then your Nyx doesn't even need stuff. He just needs to go on the supports while the bear goes on the main people. I have no issue at all sacrificing a Nyx if you have a Lone Druid on your team.
Well, meanwhile, Way 2 is going to do some creep pulling. EG, of course, doing a lot of pulls themselves. Just checking out the levels, you can see Ruvik suffering a bit, but other than that, levels pretty consistent across the board. Both the mids are level 7, as we're going to see a Roman. Fog does have the Invisibility Rune, and I think the EG ward did just time out. Yeah, Demon playing a bit more aggressively than he should. Well, he's still pretty far at range, but Demon does have to be very careful, as Snaking does have the ultimate, and Fog is invisible. Will they have to burn a Panda ultimate? You can see Fog...
Demon knows. He knows, I guarantee.
Yeah,
Snaking's
maybe he
playing
saw
too far up.
when the ward
No,
just
Snaking's
timed
playing
out.
too far up. It's a giveaway. It's so hard to not play up when you got an invis friend there waiting for them to kill them. But yeah, I think he's just pushed up a little bit. Like, he wouldn't be salving right there. Yeah, and Demon definitely knows he's going to back up as the Ice Path goes out.
And Demon, with the Arcane Boots in the bag, will probably finish the Magic Wand, then go straight into the Dagger as, ooh, RP with the Illuminate and the Shockwave beautifully timed with the Beatus. That Team House coordination. I don't think Demon's in the house just yet, but really, really nice, solid kill on the Brewmaster. And Brewmaster is one of those heroes, and as the game goes on, his ultimate, of course, gets more and more powerful, but I always say in my cast, other heroes get more and more HP, BKBs become an option, and Brewmaster has a long cooldown, so you can't use that ultimate in comparison to a hero like Magnus, which you can just use it relentlessly without fear. So Brewmaster dying is pretty significant.
I feel like Brewmaster, when you're talking about him peaking or whatever, he starts out pretty strong and gets progressively stronger until 30 minutes, until he just falls off a cliff, basically. Once the BKBs come out and once they're actually able to kill your pandas, which is like 30 to 35, you don't have to be scared of anything. Like, you don't care that he's there. People got MKB, BKB, it's whatever. He just stops existing. So not getting a good start on the hero is like the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah, and you can see despite having 17 CS over Demon, he has died twice, and no boots just yet. Meanwhile, Demon Arcane Boots finished is a full level ahead of the Brewmaster because of those ganks and because of the mistake by snaking in the first engagement. Meanwhile, they're going to force a rotation by Treant, and we've said in the past, or we just said a couple moments ago, Tree in the late game, if Brewmaster is not that good, Tree is, like, useless in the late game.
Oh, yeah, and see, this is smart. Universe is just jungling now. Makes sense. I mean, it's what he'd do on Darkseer if he was in this position and couldn't get experience, or Furion. He'd just go to the jungle, and you can do that on Nyx, too. It's just one of the reasons why he's so good is just literally an off-lane hero.
Yep.
And yep, he's doing a drum. Probably phase to go with it, because I can't imagine that he wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, your bear probably wouldn't get it, and you can see AUI almost has that armlet finished already. All needs the helm and the recipe. Already has the phase boots as well, so he is farming relentlessly. The CS heavily against EG, and just all things considered when it comes down to late stages of the game, who you got?
I got my money on Dignitas this game. EG can win, and I'm not even going to say like they have that big of an advantage, but I'm telling you, man, that Syllabur is such a scary force. It all comes down to Weaver, and if they're actually able to pick off the Weaver and get the Pandas stuff on that Weaver, and that's just teamfight execution. If the sentries are always down 100% of the time, it's so hard to say. So if Weaver can make big plays happen, or Dignitas lets him make big plays, I'm going to give it in EG's favor, but otherwise Dignitas has got this.
I mean, I was looking, I was like, oh, EG has a tree's garbage like game, but they also have a mag, and RP is like the best thing ever. It is better than
Yeah,
sliced
it's a free.
bread.
Oh
So,
yeah, I didn't even mention this, but every time he's picked up that I see him in like in-house games, there's also a mag, and then boom, it's free. So
ooh, snaking, guessing the top rune, forced to burn a clap. Unfortunately for him, the rune spawns on the bottom lane, but his supports will be more than happy to snatch it up. And overall, Dignitas is very content. They are very used to this style of game where they do nothing for the first 10-15 minutes, and then they make everything happen in the mid stages of the game, where they usually pick a greedy draft. This is not really as greedy as compared to most other drafts, but still, I mean, Dignitas is well acquainted to this style of play. But,
yeah,
I
this
mean,
is like the.
one
Yeah, I was
thing,
gonna say.
sorry to cut you off, pushing into the towers against Living Armor and Coddle is going to be an issue.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. At least there isn't a Furion to like push your other towers at the same time, but there's also the Mag Blast to come out or whatever it's called, Shockwave. So they are going to need to build a pipe, I think. I mean, it's a lot easier because you have Nyx and Syllabear, and then they can just kind of hit the tier 3 racks, but mid lane.
Yep, Demon's going to lift it into the Ice Path. They're forced to use the Brewmaster ultimate as a Nightmare is going to be dropped onto Demon. The Panda actually disrupts it. Can Demon actually escape? That would be huge if the level 1 Panda ultimate. Living Armor just so strong. Demon's going to waltz away. Fancy free as Fear gonna get pursued, but hey, Living Armor is gonna be cooling down very rapidly. Demon actually gets the RP, return around onto Snaking. Snaking's out of mana, forced to pop his wand, fogged, once again throwing down the stun, but Living Armor showing its worth once again, and that is 160 seconds where EG can just say, no Brewmaster Ultimate, how are you gonna do anything? Like, Weaver is just gonna be feeling so fine now.
Yeah, that's a big win, and it's not even for the Weaver, I think, but it's now EG can get offensive because they couldn't really gank before because TPN from Brewmaster, and it's like, oh, you're all dead. So the fact that that's down, RP's going to be up, and then there's a minute when the Panda's ult isn't up, and that's when they're going to try to utilize and probably take bot tower, I think.
And
I
Tree,
think.
level 8, already hits for 108 damage. Pretty funny, as Tree, definitely a beast. And the top tower, or the bomb tower was denied by the Treant. Looks like the top tower for EG will be denied. So overall, it's going to be an even trade in terms of towers. But again, oh, Jail looking to try to steal that. Not going to get it. Jail actually picked up the Midas. I've never seen this on a Weaver.
That's good. I like it. Because when you have a 1 carry strat versus a 2 carry strat, it's so important to just farm. And obviously you're going to have to go to fights because they can have one person out of fights, and it's not as scary because either the Nyx is there or the Syll is there, and that's bad. But the Weaver has to be there. So you need a farming mechanism. You need to get more gold than both the other carries on the other team, and you need to sort of be in fights. And while Midas doesn't really give anything to Weaver, it does give him the levels, and he is really spell dependent. So it's going to help him out in fights a little bit at least. He'll probably go for Drum Lincolns, I think. He doesn't have to worry about a fast Lincolns because it's a sacrifice snake, so.
Yeah, and I was also going to say, I mean, also against one of the strongest anti-carries in the form of Brewmaster because of the mischance. I mean, it sort of goes out the window because of MKB, but one of the reasons that Brewmaster was picked in the Chinese scene 3 or 4 years ago was not only because of
Lycan.
but because of the... No, like 3 or 4 years ago before Lycan even became a threat, was because of the mischance by the Drunken Haze. As nice RP blink in by Demon. Dignitas clearly not suspecting that whatsoever. Here comes Fiend's Grip. Overgrowth going to be cast as well, and Snagging gonna get killed once again, and Dignitas were not expecting such a fast dagger on Demon, and Demon made them pay. Really nice RP.
Yeah, I mean, Demon, I think, I can't speak for him, but from like how he plays and what types of heroes I see him playing Bubs, I wouldn't think that Magnus isn't one of his favorite heroes. Like, he's probably top 3. Just random guess, but.
I mean, you can like charge people and do shit. You're really powerful. You can tank a bunch of stuff. You can just have a lot of freedom.
Yeah. Plus, you can also, blink into tier 3 towers and skewer people out and then die and then have your teammate make a video about it. And
Yep.
there's that too.
Meanwhile, haven't talked about AUI. He's finished the armlet at 14 minutes. Very, very nicely done by AUI. He was receiving free farm. You can see he has the highest farm in the game. 88 last hits. I really doubt any of those were neutrals, actually. As meanwhile, Dignitas trying to make something happen in the middle lane. They know they have the Brewmaster ultimate, and they know the RP's down. The question is, can they force the engagement? As, yeah, I think they can. No RP online for the next 40 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to 5-man now. Once that armlet's up and Nyx sort of has some stuff, Nyx is going to get the rest of his stuff off the tower kills, I think. And I think Dignitas might be able to take 4 towers in the next, like, 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, the top lane's pushing out quite a bit, so it might take them a bit longer, and by that time RP will be up. And, I mean, it is going to be... You can do it, but I feel like against Enfeeble, as well as against a tree with so much damage protection, I don't know if they can, like, they can team fight and then push down the towers. I feel like EG will have to be severely out of position. It's just so hard to like engage with this very very up in your face line by Dignitas when there's an Enfeeble and there's Tree Armor and there's Illuminate. I don't know. Seems like an issue.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I probably was discounting Feeble. That is gonna. How much is it at rank 2 anyway? It's like 50, I think? 60. Yeah, it's more than I remembered. Yeah, 30, 60, 90, 120. It's gonna be hard for the bear to hit the towers. And Nyx isn't even that scary yet. He's only hitting for like 120, 110. Math is hard.
Math is hard. Aren't you a math major?
Yeah, but that means that I'm worse at arithmetic than like anybody else.
Yeah. Linear algebra. Who needs that when you got arithmetic?
I know, right?
Meanwhile, Universe yet to finish that drums, only 50 CS. He is not died yet, but he has not really found any space in EG. Knowing that Dignitas is likely to push down the top tower, gonna instead go for the mountain tower. They say, alright, we have living armor. How are you gonna kill us with the Leicester having not as much damage at this point? As Demon, being level 11, has that point to empower. Oh my god! Overgrowth. The Nature's Guy is actually the best spell in the game. Overgrowth into RP, into Mayhem. Result is popped. Demon, can he be protected? Nature's Guys is in effect. Oh my god. Did I say Nature's Guy's spell is the worst spell in the game? Nature's Guy is obviously the best spell in the game. Fiend's Grip going down onto the Leicester. Ooh, just barely dodges the shockwave. Snagging, unable to make any kills happen with that Brewmaster ult. Forced to blink away to safety, and EG just bulldozing their way in. Tree, with a mechanism, with living armor, just does not care about anything. And Fogged.
Heroes to Imba.
Oh my god, Fogged. Just... Holy shit.
I saw an incredibly rare misplay from Fear there. And I hate to even say it, because he never does this, but he can't really Fiend's Grip when a Panda's is ulted. Doesn't really work that well, and he just got cycloned out of it immediately. So a little bit of a waste there. I think he could have held it, but in the end, it's no big deal, really. They get 2 kills on the tower. I mean, he ain't complaining, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty short cooldown in comparison to the Brewmaster ultimate, so he'll probably be back. That probably just means he can't gank the Lifestealer. But still, Nature's Guys, holy shit.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, it's garbage, but once in a while, it's like whenever people say, oh, Appeal is actually a good spell, it's just like, alright, you have that one instance where it's useful, and then every other time it's garbage, but then they say, oh, it's so good. That was one of the cases today with Nature's Guys in that engagement.
If something's terrible 99% of the time, but wins you a massive team fight, which gives you the momentum to win the game 1% of the time, I mean, is it a bad spell still? Is it a bad spell still? Words are not my forte. But, well, apparently we just covered math not being it either. But, yeah, I think that we might be seeing more Treant in the future because a lot of teams have just experimented with him and they like him, so...
And this is not good for Dignitas. Again, they have a very strong mid-game heavy lineup. They're not getting the damage through. Snaking is not even level 11, and we're approaching that 35-minute mark sooner than expected. And Snaking, again, not being level 11, his ultimate is still rather weak. Of course, he will have that level 2 ultimate, but by the time the next teamfight engagement happens. But they've got to make so much happen with it. It's going to be even harder once JO has Aegis. As you can see, Treant was able to get Fogged, as Fogged just barely level 6 was picked off. EG warding relentlessly, and you can see just the map control being taken. And when Tree gets lead, he sort of has to keep the lead. But when you have your Master not being as effective, when you have a Weaver who has not even gotten any DPSMs and you're still winning engagements, it's looking better and better for you as the game goes on. As JO going to be caught... just gonna Shikuchi out of there. Really can't do anything to that Weaver, as Universe desperately trying to find some measure of farm in the neutral camps.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think the most important thing right now is that Fear has his mobility item, and normally it's Dagger on Bane, but against the Lifestealer, I think just the 4-step that he has is better. And why this is so big is because, well, that obviously what he just did, but yeah, Fog's gonna go down.
Yep, Demon actually timing so that the Nightmare and the Une hits at the exact or the Nightmare expired. He got the Skewer into the Illuminate, and one fell swoop, all of that goes down. And this is, again, a huge issue because, like you said, Dignitas needed a pipe. One of the best ways to do that is, of course, having the null field. And Rubik is just being pushed down relentlessly. He can't afford to get a null field at this point. I mean, you don't really have to max telekinesis, but still, null field would
This
be
is
so
at this
useful.
point. Yeah, I get 4 points in null field before getting any other points in any other spells. If I was him, but yeah, I was gonna say the reason the mobility is so big on Fear is because now you can get pandas before he starts a fight, and it doesn't even have to be full duration. It can just be a little bit, and then the RP comes in, and then he dies. So keep a lookout for big plays from Fear. Trying to stop that pandas from actually ulting. Bane's one of the best people at doing it, so.
So what do you think Dignitas should do to get themselves back in the game? They have a strong lineup, but they're down 10-1. They've lost 4 towers. EG has only lost 2. EG has Aegis. EG has a huge gold and experience lead. And Dignitas' lineup, it can get better, but it doesn't really get exponentially better in comparison to other lineups.
Finish your omelet on Nyx. Finish the, I'm guessing it's going to be a Mjolnir coming up from Owie. Normally that finishes at about 20 minutes if you have a great game, like 23 if it's not so great. He's looking at like 22-ish. So finish that. That's almost done. Finish the omelet on Nyx. And then your carries are really going to pack a punch that EG doesn't have. So if you can BKB pretty much everything throws at you just on the Nyx, and you can have Pandas actually get his ult off and control the Bane, I think they should be winning team fights once they have all their items up. The only issue is they're not really in control enough of their lanes to be in a position to get in favorable fights, if you know what I mean.
And yeah, I mean, with this lineup you do a lot of damage, but I feel like you need like a tier 4 just to break through the living armor and the enfeeble and the blinding light on top of that. It's just so many ways to fuck with your physical DPS item, and I'm sorry for all you under 17 users that to use such a naughty word there, but that's literally what EG's doing to this lineup. They're taking it and they're just it's not consensual.
Bebone, real quick question. Can you hear the people getting tortured on this week's Game of Thrones in the background? Because there's a TV on in the next room, and
I cannot.
okay, excellent. Because I was worried that you were hearing that. Anyway, moving on. Fog's got nothing. Pens has got nothing. Yeah, it's really going to be completely up to the Bear and Nyx. No one else has like anything on their team, so.
The Bear.
Although there is a gem pickup. I don't know if you pointed that out.
No, I didn't. They have a gem?
Yeah. I guess they're just trying to
on
get
the
rid of the
Jakiro.
wards. And oh my god, that's why. Look at where the dire side have wards.
Everywhere on the Radiant side. It's relentless. And Demon actually went for a Shadow Blade on Magnus. I've never seen this on the Magnus, but I mean, Shadow Blade's such a good item anyways.
I've seen him do it in pubs. It's pretty legit because normally, like, you sort of have vision when a mag's trying to break your racks. Like, you see him, you know where he is. But uh-oh, this looks like a fight.
Nope. Bambo's just like, stop your nonsense. I'm here with Overgrowth and Living Armor and Leech Seed, and Snaky's just like, he has to get the heck out of there. Me on the top lane way too, trying to provide a bit of pressure, but just gonna teleport out of there, recognizing he can't push it down, and if he was there for a bit longer, he might have gone to deny range. But yeah, Dignitas, unfortunately, unable to pick up any towers in that exchange. EG get another tier 2. The Lincolns has been fished on the Weaver, and the Midas accelerating his farm even more. Not even 450 GPM, but the experience, like you mentioned previously, has been invaluable.
Fast 16 is pretty important for Weaver, I think. You never really want to get caught out without the ultimate. And it does happen that you don't have the mana for it, just because if you're not getting like a Drums Lincolns build with a ton of stats, you don't have that many stats. Like, even with his Lincolns in a lot of levels, he hasn't got that much, so.
Yeah, EG playing very solidly. Very, usually
Not-
EG likes to play risky and daring. This is like as unrisky as possible, and just very conservatively.
They're beating Dignitas at their own game. Like, this is how Dignitas plays, and then they come out of their little turtle shell, and then they just beat you to death. But EG's kind of just doing the same thing, but better.
Yeah, as well, Dignitas again. We have yet to see a team fight break out with these carries having their items at this point. But still, I worry about this Brewmaster having an impact. He can still have a good impact when Magnus did not go for the BKB build. But still, the tank ability of EG, the damage I mean, even without all of those minus damage spells, EG is still quite durable.
Yeah. And you pointed out the Lothards. It is going to be really risky if... Uh-oh. TP. No, they won't engage. But, yeah, if Pandas goes first before Mag initiates, that's a huge problem for Demon. Uh-oh. They actually are fighting. Wow, I didn't think so. But there is going to be a kill by the Radiant. They're going to back out. And Fear is gripping LeBron James, a.k.a. Universe, and it looks like he's just going to go down. Demon tries to line up a skewer but misses, and he's just going to RP. They really don't want him to infest, and they are going to get him before the kill. And I normally try not to commentate because, for whatever reason, I'm always like 5 to 10 seconds ahead of you. But I hope I wasn't that bad that time.
No, you weren't.
As,
it was a good attempt by Universe. He raged off all the Fiend Script damage, which is quite a damaging spell, but you still can't escape when 2 ultimates are dropped on you. And at the very least, AUI did manage to get the tower kill for the Rain. They're going to get another tier 1 tower for the Troubles as well. And a lot of pressure is going on AUI. He needs to get like all of the items, just all of them. It's just so much pressure on this poor innocent bear.
If anybody in this game needed to get all the items and just have one team put all their faith in them, it would be AUI. That man is a very stable carry, is how I would describe him. Like, he just doesn't crack under pressure. He'll always get stuff, no matter how much your team's losing. So, I mean, I got faith in him. And I'm sure, I haven't looked at the Gold Arrow experience. I'm sure it's fairly lopsided, but I don't feel like Dignitas is out of this at all. Like, the last game me and you cast, the kill score was close, but it was a slaughter, and we knew it. And this one, it isn't close, but it feels like the game can go either way. Like, I'd say it's like 60-40 at this point.
It's just that the Hero Zone EG, like we previously mentioned, I mean, at a certain point in the game, Tree is not very useful at all. Brewmaster will still always remain relevant, even if he does down in terms of effectiveness. Rubik can always remain relevant if he gets an RP. He's gonna be a long time before he finishes a Force Staff or a Dagger, but if he's not out of position, he always has the option of taking that. So Dignitas always have an opportunity, but it's, again, AEG right now are just playing so conservatively. They're not giving Dignitas any openings, and Dignitas, unfortunately, are just sort of forced to play this passing game. And at the very least, like you previously mentioned with that gem, they're able to deward so much of their jungle. You can see that EG no longer has vision over the Dignitas jungle, and this is what you need to do. Just take small and slow steps in order to get yourselves back in the game.
Yeah, there's no need for either team to do anything really aggressive right now. You just got to do the more little things right than the other team's doing, and that's how you're going to get out on top.
Meanwhile, Bembo, I feel like he's had the same items for a while. He had a 2.4k. Oh, he's going for the Shivas, and he will have that very, very soon. And with that, that will definitely reduce the DPS, and reducing the DPS is definitely the name of the game for EG. Again, Enfeeble, Blinding Light, Treant Armor, and Shivas on top of that. Of course, the nuke damage is definitely not going to be underestimated by any means, as Fog level 8 instead went for that pointed telekinesis, even a single pointed null field, 5%. Well, may not make that much difference, but it'll get you closer to that level 2 and then level 3 and level 4. So, I don't know why he went for that third point in null field, but he just feels like with the pace of the game going, he will find his levels eventually.
Null field isn't really a one-point wonder, like you just kind of sort of touched on. So, I guess he wants to get the most points in his disable possible to try to lock down the Weaver, because what else are they going to do? Like, they can blow the Lincolns and then pick them up, and that's it. So, I guess he just feels like that's really important. I don't know, it could also be that a lot of times you don't really think when you're just playing. No flame, but like the skill build that he's doing right now is the generic one that you do in 99% of the games. So it could be he just going with that. Or it could be that I'm overthinking it, which is probably the most likely case. So,
Nah, I think you're probably right. As again, null field, not 1-point wonder, and the extra bit disable. Every bit does count. As Weaver, even with the link, it's not really has that much HP. So if you manage to get enough disables, you can kill him. But it's so difficult against Weaver, and that's the power of Weaver. And now with the Desolator in his hand, that's going to make taking Roshan and breaking the towers, which I think EG might have been missing. It'll make it so much easier, as Weaver with the Deso, so good. Remember in Dota 1, no over effects?
yeah, and then...
Then Arrow is just like Dota 2. Yeah, this time's pretty good on Weaver.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, someone told me that it was good in Dota 2, and I was like, no, that doesn't work. Don't be stupid. And then I saw him do it. It was a friend of mine in the game, and they owned. That's all you can say for it. It is a good item on that hero. And I really think that they are going to group up and push right now. They're going to send Weaver top. They're going to get some farm. They're going to take the top tower. Then they're probably going to try to push through mid, I would hazard a guess. They need one good RP to win this game, basically.
No, they're just gonna recall Jo immediately and push mid. They know that they will probably have to give the tier 1. Well, maybe they don't even have to with the, well, Living Armor can't really save this tower against the bear, who has finished the Basher, so that is something. Every bit of item does help against a squishy like Weaver, who even with an Aegis can be brought down, but it is going to be insanely difficult. Lifesteal finishes his own Basher at the exact same moment, but an empowered Weaver and an empowered Tree hitting your buildings, and it seems like AUI is just like, screw this, I do not want to get in the middle of this, not even bothering to teleport back just yet. The glyph has been forced, Snaking gonna get gripped up, he's gonna take a lot of edge, he will die, he does have buyback, he has the Vlads, he's gonna be forced to buy back. AUI gonna teleport out right about now. Meanwhile, the team fight has broken out, Demon managed to get the RP, but the Infest and the Wrestle has been already used, Demon forced to retreat, and EG gonna get pushed away. We're starting to see the effectiveness of Treant wear out significantly. Bambo will be able to retreat, I don't think Jakiro dies, so they still have the damage as Snaking with the immolate damage, able to push back the tree, get the kill. Fear gonna be forced to retreat as well, and Macro Power in conjunction with the relentless chasing power will seal the deal, and Dignitas suddenly increased the kill total by 3 times that amount. 1 to 3.
They tripled their kills in, these 4 easy steps or whatever. But no, that was a team fight win for EG, and they are gonna lose
For
their
Dignitas.
mid. No, I'm saying it's for EG because they got. Here's why they won. They got Sneaking, and then he bought back. He will never have an Aghanims in this game because of that, ever. So yeah, they're going to get a tower from it, but they never have to worry about that Aghanims now. They just don't. And, I mean, it can happen. Yeah, he might still get it, but at that point, it's like, who cares? It's not going to be on time.
Yeah, I was questioning it a bit, but when you look at it, who died? It was the Tree and the Bane. I mean,
Yeah,
they
it's
can
like, who
afford to
cares?
die. And Snaking, of course, not really as much, and they're not even going to get the tier 2. It's just too difficult against Keeper, Blinding Light, and the Living Armor, so AUI just forced back to farming. One thing that is a bit annoying for EG is that their sole physical DPSer is going to be that Weaver, and Bear is quite tricky to bring down, so...
They got to get that
Dig-
MKB. It's
Huh?
so important. They need that MKB on Jo so badly. He cannot miss attacks in fights. Like, if he just misses 3 attacks in a row, that can just be the team fight right there. So, anyway, I do like what EG was doing. I was about to complain about them not pushing while Pandas are down and RP is going to be up. But they are going to do it. RP is up, Pandas are down. This is going to be a Rax. I cannot imagine them not getting a Rax right here.
They're going to have to get all the bashes. They have to become the Bash Lord, apparently, as Blitz would say. As Bleach Seed's going to be applied to the Bear trying to do whatever it can. AUI does not have a second Bear, so he has to be careful with this Bear place, and Shiv is going to be used as well. Here comes Snaking trying to do whatever he can. Disrupted Jo does not care studs. They just saying, can't touch this, and he is going to get empowered up. The Drunken Haze gonna whiff. The Liquid Sphere did dispel that, so that Drunken Haze is not going to be in action until right about now. So JL going to get another Drunken Haze very, very soon, and Dignitas doing whatever they can to possibly defend this. EG's damage output is not yet there, as this is going to buy valuable time for the Brewmaster Ultimate as the pause happens at a wrong point. And I think the Brewmaster Ultimate will be back online before this Rax gets brought down.
I'm pretty sure Merlini's spectating this game, right? He's one of the co-casters?
Yeah, with AC.
Fear better watch out.
Was that?
Merlini, you can't pause a game when Merlini's
Oh
in
yeah,
it. Let's
yeah,
not be
yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh my god, fear pause, not puppy pause. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
the Bear gonna get nightmared. AUI takes one for his furry friend as Jo once again dispels the Linkage Fear Bomb, but the Brewmaster Ultimate is back online. Here comes the Brewmaster Ultimate. Magnus does get a 2 or 3 man RP, holding Lester in place. Jakiro gets blown the heck up. No macro power. That's a huge portion of damage lost. But meanwhile, Treant is going to lose his life. I don't think he did get the mechanism in the Shiv his guard out. Fear is going to die as well, and Jo might very well lose his Aegis. He is going to lose his Aegis. Will he be able to retreat? Beat is going to get chased away. Another entangled AUI, the Bash and the Entangle Lord. Blitz would be so proud. Demon gonna skewer in and then windwalk away, and Dignitas saying, we can't push into you, but you can't push into us either.
Well, I stand corrected. They didn't get the Rax. That was just a massive team fight. They waited one wave too long. They let the Panda ult get up, and once the Panda ult was up, they just couldn't get the Rax. Like, look at it. It was so close. They needed to attack it like 5 more times on Weaver, but I think they could have been a little more aggressive when Weaver had that Aegis and just had him just stay on the racks and force people to attack him with Aegis, and then you just get it. But that's all in the past, and close is only good in grenades and horseshoes. So I think EG still got this. Like, I'm not worried. I wouldn't be worried if I was in their shoes. They haven't got glyph,
Ooh,
but
way
oh
two
wow,
on the
actually I
bottom
might be a
lane.
little bit worried.
Skewer, way two, gonna drop the ice pad, the blink ahead by Demon, but now he realizes he has no mana. Macro fire, dual breath. Where do you come
You
from?
need
Where
to
do you
you need to
go?
link the Magnetard video because that's it. That's what I saw. You need to link that to this video. If you don't, I will. But
Demon's Con Night Joe. I was about to break into a stunning rendition that everybody would weep to hear, but that was it.
they
Support
made me
Jakiro.
they made me in middle school. Uh, we had to do dance in gym class. And we had to dance to Cotton Eye Joe, and it was like the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I still can't hear that song without just cringing. Oh
Well, it
well.
is. It's pretty much the ultimate cringeworthy song. It is like the dance song for middle schoolers.
Yep.
Anyways, I don't want to bring up any more painful memories. Not
What's going on
PTSD.
in Dota? Nyx is going to get maybe an Abyssal question mark. I think it'd be really good for locking down important targets, though. I would imagine he would get it. Sneaking, I still don't think he's going to get his stick of more pandas in time. And what's Fear got? Or not Fear, what's the bear got? He's got
MKB.
Basher MKB. It's doesn't get much more. I mean, I guess he gets AC next, but there are diminishing returns on the bear. Like, you can put more and more items on it, and eventually, it's not like other heroes where it just gets stronger and stronger. Because you can just kill AUI, and then the bear doesn't matter. So
I love this item by Joe. He saw, even though, like you mentioned, he had a couple more hits on the Rex, he was attacking that Rex for a good long duration. I mean, Bruma Salto was 40 seconds, and Jet was hitting that Rex for quite often, or quite a bit amount. And the Rex never died because the backdoor regen and the creeps were not able to be cleared. But now with the AC, now he has minus 11 armor onto the buildings. This is going to
this
be.
is this is the Fear build. He's literally the first person I've ever seen do this. And he was, back in a couple months ago, or like 2 weeks ago, whatever, when he was playing carry for EG. When he played Weaver, this is what he did. And there's a couple different theories on how to play Weaver and how to item build Weaver. And this one focuses on blowing people up instantly. Like, a lot of them are, you make fights take take a while. You kind of go around, go for the supports, manta out of the silence, go for someone else. You don't really deal that much damage fast, but you do a lot over time. With this build, you just kill people. They just die. And yeah, you're really, really squishy. Look, he's got 1,300 HP as the primary carry in 37 minutes. That's nothing. But people are going to die, so
Yeah, I mean, the Brewmaster Alternate, the illusions will just get, or the aspects will get absolutely shredded.
oh yeah, that Fire Panda's going to get like 3-shot.
Maybe even two-shotted. But if you look at the golden experience graph, it's dead even at this point in the game. And again, even with the AC, it's still difficult, as we've seen in the past, for easy to break the base, even with the Aegis. But what is unfortunate is that, ooh, Demon's actually going for the Ghost Scepter rather than anything. I mean, it's very, very, of course, it's such a good item against Leicester and Bear, and of course the Brewmaster, but no refresher, so he's not going to be as scary as he would be in the late game, comparatively
Yeah,
speaking.
I just want to see a BKB on him, to be honest, so that he doesn't have to be worried about not going first. Because if he doesn't go first, like I said, it's an issue for him. He has to start. Pandas can't start. So aside from that, he's really got everything he's going to need. I'm not... Whoa, what was that? Did you see that?
No, I don't. What happened?
Bambo just ulted nothing.
Whatever. 65-second cooldown.
YOLO. It's actually going to be an issue if Dignitas knew about that. They might actually choose to pressure mid, but I don't think they will, and they don't even know about it, so...
Yeah, as you can see, EG making the correct time decisions. Ghost Scepter up on Fear. He's going to go for that BKB. But Dignitas getting their items as well. Abyssal has been finished on the Lifestealer. No buyback. Bear has finished the Mjolnir fully after he finished that MKB. No buyback either. So Dignitas going for all or nothing. They know if Magnus ever makes his way to Refresher, they're dead anyway. And Rubik picks up the dagger, so now Demon has to be careful. He has to get fogged, or somebody has to lock down fogged. Otherwise, he could steal a very, very crucial spell.
He hasn't been able to yet, though. Demon's been hiding it at the expense of not skewering. He's been hiding it with Shockwave immediately, so he's been really good about it. I'll be surprised if Fog gets it.
But both teams a little bit at an impasse, both really not able to know how to engage this, as Snaking going to blink back, Nightmare going to be casted on Fog, does EG looking to pursue the issue. Here comes Bambo with a double damage, and that tree hurts, hitting for around 270 damage. Rubik immediately going to get picked off, Way 2 going to get killed, as well as Snaking going to get caught in a 2-man RP. Dignitas at the wrong place at the wrong time. All they wanted to do was ward Roshan, but EG had their number. They had a ward already there. Lifesteal trying to do what he can with the Abyssal Blade, does manage to get Keeper Light, but now has to get the heck out of there, as Jail is on the pursuit with the Desolator and the AC. That Lifestealer might not stand a chance. Uphill miss going to help Jail out just a little bit. Does he have the Infest? He's just going to teleport out of there. Nice recognition, but this is going to give EG Roshan and Brewmaster are going to be dead for the next 50 seconds. Man, I'm surprised, actually, Dignitas, no D-ward on that. I think they should have known.
Well, Fear was MVP. Fear just baited them like really, really well. They knew they were there, and Fear was like, okay, I can force step out. And then they pushed up, try to get him. He sleeps one, grips the other from high ground, and all of a sudden, how are you going to win this fight? And they couldn't, because they just killed the pandas. So, I know I called the Rax last time, and they ended up not getting it, but I'm going to call the Rax again. And this time when I'm wrong, I'm going to look even stupider, but I'm pretty sure he just takes mid-Rax right now.
Maybe they're going to wait for Bane BKB. He will have in 450 gold. I mean, I think they can afford to wait 2
But right now,
minutes.
I mean, yeah, like next 2 minutes. Because Panda's ult's still up. It's not like you're waiting on that. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, and AUI has that gem. We'll see what he has to go for next. He has to get a pretty significant item, maybe AC or something like that, but it's still going to be a long way away. Universe did not die, but wasn't able to do that much. And he doesn't have actually that much HP either, so he can be brought down with nothing like an AC. And meanwhile, at the side of EG, Magnus holding on to the gem. Tree has a cheese. Not too sure why. I mean, what else will he cast?
Well, who else are you going to give it to? Doesn't matter on Demon. Demon's going to go in RP, and then it doesn't matter. You're going to put it on Fear? Like, I think it's the right choice. Also, having him hold the cheese, this is... I doubt this is what they're thinking of, but sometimes it can be important. When your carry has to have the Aegis but then doesn't have a slot for cheese, you want to be able to do is, if they die, you want to be able to literally run to them and give them the cheese. So, I think if they are thinking this, the right choice is to have it on Treant because he's tanky enough that he can just run in and give it to him. I don't think that's the reason.
I think that's good. And also, I was gonna say, you know, give it to Demon because he has some power, but you know, Tree actually hits harder. Even if he has shitty base attack time, he actually hits harder with Empower, so that would be very, very useful. He actually probably does more physical DPS than the Magnus. You know?
Yeah, especially because the people he's going on are always slowed 100% of the time. You know, because they're sitting... Are they smoked? No, they're just nature's guys. That's cute. But, yeah, normally the people who Tree's hitting are slowed, and the people who Mag's hitting are... Well, they're RP'd, so I guess that's a wash, really.
Oh, Mag. Oh, Mag. Why do you exist?
Oh, man. I was so upset. My friend told me, like, once that hero got skewer changed, he's like, yo, this hero's the best hero in the game. I'm like, bullshit. You're making that up. You're just saying that. And 3 years later, he's holding that conversation over my head every time Mag appears in a game, so...
Waga is just, like, probably the prophet of Dota. Picked TA before it was cool, picked Mag, and now techies will probably be top tier.
I will be this... No. No. I just refuse to accept that Tekis will ever be a good hero. It can't happen.
Meanwhile, the push is gonna happen yet again. The bear bought an item. Oh, you finished the AC, so this bear is 6-slotted, and it's gonna die right now, so the second bear will have to be resummoned. And this is significant if AUI loses all of these items, and that's why Dignitas gonna initiate. They're gonna initiate onto Beatus. Beatus is taking so much damage, but he's so very tank. Here comes the Demon has not yet casted the RP, as Weaver does manage to kill off the Lifestealer. Lifestealer does have buyback, is forced to use it. The tree is set spiraling up into the air. Chikiro does manage to die, and the bear is going to be enfeebled yet again. The Treant is back into the fray, as here comes the RP by Dean. Saved him for so long, waited for exactly this opportunity, and they kill Lifestealer yet again. No buyback, he already used it. Snaking gonna get picked off, and the bear can only sit and watch as all his friends die around him. And I think this should be a good game. They couldn't even get a single kill onto Beatus, or maybe he bought back. Yeah, he did buy back, but
Yeah, he bought back. But just want to say, Fear MVP, hiding in the trees where no one can see him. Like every single time, except for that one that I commented on, where he's Fiend script, it's been like perfect. He just sits and hides and does it, and you can't stop him. I'm telling you, his potential was wasted on carry. Supports it's his true calling.
And that's definitely been one of the reasons why EG's having so much more success lately, as they're going to take this game 1 victory with really cool heroes, with overall very solid play. Only 1 throw by Demon. Definitely, at least he's filling his quota, I guess. So,
Only one.
only 1. Dambo, no throw. It's hard to throw a tree though, so there's that.
There is that. I would like to see a Mask of Madness build on Treant.
He has 1.9 base attack time, so it's not going to help you as much.
It's true. But, you know what? It was a pretty good game. Oh, that was a steal from Rubik. I was wondering. Okay. But yeah, that was a good game. I think EG just did things a little bit better. The draft was, I would say, pretty equal, so.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of see like why Mag is a top tier, Brewmaster is not, and we definitely saw the potential of Tree Keeper the Light, just making sure you don't push in, and Weaver just running circles. They couldn't really touch the Weaver all through the game. So, as always, thanks for watching. Shouts to Shredkid for coming on. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some more commentaries in the near future. And this has been a presentation from the Curse Invitational Dota 2, and we will see you next time. Peace.